So we're here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora with Adam Dudzinski, and he's a little bit taller than me, so I'm putting him on camera because we don't want to see me stand up next to him. But Dudz is here inside of the West Genesee gym here with the Wildcats, and we do a lot with boys basketball and a lot with West Genesee athletics in general. Dudz, how we doing?
Great.
So what can you say about, I mean, you got time, you got this season, you got next season, but what's recruitment been like for you? What's the experience been like so far?
During basketball in high school, it really slows down, you know, just where you get to play with your teammates at school and have fun a little, but AAU is when it just start pick up, and that's when the offers and college going to start talking to you and stuff.
You had an opportunity to connect with a few places, though. Could you tell us who those are?
Connected with Siena, George Mason, Colgate, and a few others.
What's the relationship like with Siena?
It's good because, you know, Luke Sutherland playing last year, he went there, so it's fun to catch up with him and with their staff.
What have they done? Has it been more of the staff? Did they have Luke reach out to you? How's that experience been?
I've actually visited there, so they had me down there for a visit, watched their practice, and then had really good energy, you know, a lot.
Does it mean something to you? Do you have more of a connection there because of Luke? Would that ever draw you to be able to play with him again?
Yeah, it would, but I'm still taking everything equally, you know, just want to do what's best for my future and stuff.
You were talking about George Mason. What's that connection like?
Well, our coach Kelly has connected with one of their coaches. They have a bond or something, and they called Coach Ken and they texted me and they said they might come up for a game. So they only watched me there for the AAU season.
And then you also you brought Colgate. Right. So what can you say about Colgate?
I've talked to two of their coaches. One of the coaches came up for an open gym, and I've also visited one of their games.
Do you have a dream school? Do you have a place that you would love to hear from, a conference? Is there anybody that sticks out?
Well, obviously, one of the Power 5 conferences, that would be amazing. My dream school is Duke, which isn't the top, but that's my dream school.
Do you have any connection to Syracuse? Have you done any camps up at Syracuse or anything like that?
Yeah, I went to one of their elite camps when they had some of their best recruits come in and just play, and it was really fun. I got to see some of their players and some of the coaches, and I talked to some of them.
Do you have any connection there with Syracuse, with any of the coaches or anybody there?
I talked to Adrian Oshby. He came to one of my summer league games and saw me and invited me to the camp. So he's texted my dad a couple times about it.
If Syracuse were to show interest, offer you down the road, would that have a special place to you because it's here?
Yeah, 100%. I've been here my whole life. No, I've always watched them. We'll see what happens. If they do, it'd be great.
For you to continue, like you said, during basketball season slows down a little bit, how do you balance the two? You know, the fact that a coach could just show up in the gym and watch you play someday, or something could happen in that respect. How do you stay locked into the game knowing that your future is in the background?
I think just my mentality, just always want to do good for in games and stuff, good for my teammates. If the coach sees it, it's great, but if it's not there, I'm still going to play the same.
You know that you have another season after this. You have more time. The AAU circuit as well. Do you feel like that, you talked about that's when recruitment starts to boost a little bit, the New York Jayhawks. Is that when you focus on it a little bit more? I mean, do you kind of put it out of your mind during the West Genesee season?
I put it out of my mind because stuff can still happen, but AAU is really where you focus on college recruitment, and I'm just trying to have fun and win championships in West Genesee.
You won a championship this past season, the first ever for West Genesee boys basketball, state champions, the Class AA. What does it mean to you, hindsight 20? We're in the year 2020, so hindsight 2020. What is that championship still? I mean, what do you think about when you think back to that moment?
I just get good vibes and good memories. It's still a buzz around here. People still talk about it every day sometimes. I'll still get messages still saying remember when something happened, and you just go back and remember it. It's amazing. Do
you feel like you get everybody's best game now because of that?
100%. Everyone wants to go for us, come at us, and we're not afraid. We're not going to back down. We want every kind of challenge we can get.
How does it push you that you won a state championship, so now everybody's going to play you a little bit harder? Is that, I mean, some people like when there is that pushback and other people run away from it. Do you like the fact that you're getting everybody's best game? Do you like the fact that maybe they're a little bit more physical, maybe they're saying a little bit more? Do you like that?
Yeah, because it honestly motivates me and a bunch of our teammates. We say that we get even more hungry and more focused.
Coach Kent, what has he meant to you, and what can you say about him, his leadership, especially coming off of that state championship season?
He's been there for everything with me. He's the job done, but also makes it fun with us. He'll crack jokes and do stuff, and it's fun times with him.
How do you stay focused? I know you and I talked about this a little bit, but what can you say about staying focused? Because after a team wins a championship, sometimes you can just kind of lean back on last year and keep thinking back to those moments and maybe miss a game in this season. How do you stay focused on this season, not last season?
Well, our mentality is to get another one. Obviously, sectionals come first. We want to win that and beat the teams in our area, but if states presents the opportunity, we're going to try and get that and just stay focused on what's ahead.
Who are some of the best teams that you would say are here in Central and Upstate New York that you can go up against?
Well, the 3 teams that we lost Beeville, we lost I don't even remember. We lost Beeville, Corcoran, and Liverpool. We lost both of them.
Do you feel that those are some of the best teams that you're going to maybe see this season? Is there somebody else out there?
Well, we've basically at the end of our regular season right now, so those are like the teams we're keying in on. But there's obviously other teams that are like in our bracket and our pool and stuff, so we want to beat them.
We know that Dudz is an easy nickname for Dudzinski. How long have you been called Dudz?
Probably like remember, honestly. I think it started with my dad saying that one time in like a locker room he coached, and it just always stuck there.
Does anybody call you Adam?
My mom. Mom and like grandparents, that's about it.
So is it weird for you to still hear it? Do you not always answer to Adam when you hear it?
I usually answered it because I'm usually in trouble with my mom or something like that.
So if mom says Adam, we know you're in trouble.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. So Pop Dudz, has he always been Dudz as well, or not?
Yeah, everyone calls him that. So when we're both in like a room with someone else calling us, we'll both say like what or something like that.
What does it mean for you to be at this point? I mean, you're growing. Yeah, obviously that's something you can't control, is your growth spurt. But you've been playing all over the place. You've been a utility guy for the team. You're willing to do anything. You've won a state championship. All these things are coming together. You can't control what happened. I mean, last year's over. You can't control your height. You can't control how teams play you, but you can control how you respond. How would you assess how you've controlled the things you can control?
I think I've done the best that I can do, really. Just keeping a steady head and just focusing on what's to come.
Your favorite thing about being in the recruiting process? Do you, now that you're like in it and you're kind of feeling it out, what are you excited about?
Just on like any night something can happen. Like when I got the call from Stan that we were going to offer me, I had no idea. I was literally at like a football game and we had just scored a touchdown and I got a call.
That moment for you, what were the first things that went? What did you feel? What went through your mind?
Actually, Lucas Sutherland was there, and my first instinct was to go to him and just like give him a high five and have him come. And that was the first thing I did.
What did he say?
He was like, "Congratulations!" Just started calling me a saint. So he like early, but I was like, "I gotta take this."
You got a teammate, a former teammate, in Luke Sutherland, who is with Siena. Siena's offered you. You have Will Amica, who is going to Albany. And he's a teammate of yours right now, a teammate for the state championship. What's that like? You got 2 guys that are going to stay in the state of New York, stay in Albany, and one of them's called out to you. Maybe Albany would in the future, we don't know. What's that like for you to know that these guys that you played with are both in the same city and they'll be on different teams?
I mean, it's crazy knowing that we can go to like the next level and all be together still. I'm obviously having an offer from Siena, but Albany has called me, and they actually went to one of our games for Will, and they said they liked me.
Did you ever think in your wildest dreams you would be a D1 athlete? Is this something that you always hoped and dreamt about? Is it something that's happened more recently?
I've always like dreamed about like going as far as I can with basketball, but I've never actually like wanted to be a D1. I've always wanted to be, but I never like really thought about it. But once it happened, I was like, yes, this is what I want 100%.
How do you stay focused and not buy into the hype? If people are talking highly of you, they like the way you play, you have a good night, how do you hear that but then still continue to work and stay focused?
I just want to get better and get more things that can like boost my confidence and just you know, I just like to stay focused on what's going to happen next.
Best attributes, best parts of your game, in your opinion?
This season I've been rebounding a lot better than last year. I'm actually like our leading rebounder this year, and also my outside shooting probably.
Biggest things you want to work on?
My ball handling, getting the spots, creating space, and also finishing at the rim.
That coming from Adam Dudzinski. Dudz to everybody else except for mom and the grandparents. Dudz, as always, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.